Mr. Canellis? Yes, please call the roll.
Ms. Carasola. Ms. Carr.
Here.
Mr. Corey.
Here.
Mr. Hayward.
Present.
Ms. McNabola.
Here.
Dr. Robinson.
Here.
Ms. Scarpelli.
Here.
Ms. Stevenson. Ms. Rendell.
Here. Mr. Hayward, will you lead us in the flag?
My pleasure. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Adequate notice of meeting. In accordance with PL 1975, Chapter 231, notice of tonight's meeting was mailed to the Record and the Ridgewood News on January 3rd, 2023. Notice of this meeting was also mailed to the Borough Clerk and was posted on the bulletin board of the Board of Education office in the Administration Building on the same date. Copies of the procedures in effect for regular board meetings are available for the public at tonight's meeting. Ms. Carr, will you read the mission statement?
The Glen School District, founded on principles of education in partnership with a supportive community, provides an exceptional education to all students to cultivate resilient, responsible, and engaged global citizens.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Before I start, I'd like to recognize Mr. James Canellis for his first meeting as the Business Administrator and Board Secretary. Welcome aboard. Mr. Canellis, I have been promised by the community that they will be on their best behavior tonight, and you will have a lovely meeting. And he's been just, like I say, a breath of fresh air. He's wonderful, and we look forward to working with him for many years. But tonight is about a couple of things, but in particular our Teacher of the Year and Ed Specialist of the Year awards. And it's always one of the best meetings of the year we have. We love honoring our teachers for all the hard work that they do. And I always thought to be recognized by your peers and your colleagues just speaks a lot about your dedication to your craft. And as I look at the names on the list of the people we're honoring tonight, I think really the best of the best. So I'm going to turn it over to the principals. I'll be able to read some as well, but why don't we start with, I think Ms. Kraft is here tonight. So Ms. Kraft, would you like to start? Without a bet, to see who would go first? Oh, okay, yes, there you go. All right. And what we'll do is, if it's okay, when we're done with everyone, then we'll take one group picture, and then we'll, of course, post it to social media.
Good evening. It is with great pride that I introduce the 2023 Bird School Teacher of the Year, Ms. Christine Sadler. Mrs. Sadler has been a music teacher in Glen Rock for 20 years. She has taught both instrumental and general music at Bird School and also has worked at the middle school. If you have had the privilege of visiting one of her classes or attending one of her concerts, you will quickly learn that the students absolutely adore her. She inspires them to sing their hearts out and teaches them the beauty and hard work of playing an instrument. Mrs. Sadler's work is so much more than her teaching. The beautiful thing about her is her dedication to the entire Bird School community. Her presence is not only felt in her music classes, where she inspires students each and every day, it is felt in all aspects of bird life. Mrs. Sadler leads and inspires and guides our fifth graders in our very successful peer mentor program, where fifth graders are tasked with mentoring younger birdies during lunch and recess. She runs morning chorus and hidden talent, which provides students the space to shine and feel good about themselves. She is an active member of our social committee and plays an integral part of our thriving school culture. You see, the thing about Mrs. Sadler is that she embodies everything you want an educator to be. She is passionate about her craft. She is patient, she is kind, she is giving, she is caring, and she is the ultimate team player. There is nothing that she will not do for our students and for our school, and that is what makes her so special. Here are a few quotes from some of her colleagues. Christine Sadler is an inspiration as a fellow specials teacher. She expects a lot from her kids, and they deliver. They adore and respect her, and she happily goes above and beyond in every way as a teacher and a staff member. She always has a smile and a positive attitude. She inspires the students to do their best, and she inspires me to be a better teacher in person. Mrs. Sattler creates fantastic concerts that make students excited to perform. She always tries to get student input about their performance in class and includes their ideas in making them feel invested in what they do. Christine brings an amazing energy to school every day. She loves her students, and it is evident in everything that she does. To close, Mrs. Sadler is a phenomenal teacher and human. She's a wonderful wife to Joe, mom to Joey and Dan, and grandma to little Wesley. She loves boating, fishing, and crabbing, and quite honestly just makes the world a better place. It is an honor to know her, and on behalf of the entire Bird family, we thank her for everything she does for our school. Congratulations to Ms. Christine Sattler, the Bird Teacher of the Year.
I don't know if it's a funny story, but I do have a Christine story to tell. Yes. So, you do, yeah. I'm still have PTSD from this, I'll call it an event. And so I had to serve as principal for a little bit at Bird one day, which is already a mistake that was made. And then Ms. Sattler said, "Hey, why don't you come down and help out in music class?" And that's a problem because I'm not a musician. And so, being the good soldier that I am, I said, "Sure, I'll come down." And they're not playing music. What they're doing is they have these drums, and they're just banging them incessantly for about 40 minutes, and I have to follow this. So now I have carpal tunnel syndrome, and my ears were ringing, and Ms. Sattler said I did a pretty good job, though. Is that correct? Right? Yes. I went home and told my wife and daughter that, and they laughed. But you know what? The kids remembered that day, and that's something I remember, and I appreciate you inviting me down. Thank you. Was that the story? Okay, see? I knew it. Okay. I think Mr. Thompson's here, yes? Mr. Thompson, come on up.
Good evening. I'm Edward Thompson, the proud principal of Clara E. Coleman School, and tonight I'm honored to present the Coleman School Teacher of the Year, Mrs. Tracy Davidoff. Mrs. Davidoff, who earned her master's degree from Elmira College, has been serving as a Coleman fourth grade teacher for 7 years. Prior to coming to Coleman, Tracy has served as a second, third, and fifth grade teacher in the Whitecroft School District for 12 years. She continually demonstrates excellence in the classroom and is well respected by students, her peers, parents, and administrators alike, especially this one. As one of her colleagues shared, Tracy is a hardworking and devoted teacher. She gets to know each of her students on a personal level and searches for creative and engaging ideas to make her lessons fun and meaningful for her class. Tracy also served as an advisor to our social committee and covers the main office at lunchtime once per week. A true team player, which seems to echo what I've heard earlier. Outside of Coleman, Tracy is the loving wife to Scott and the proud mom of 3 children, Spencer, a sophomore at James Madison University, Amanda, a 10th grader, and Andrew, a freshman, both of whom attend Glen Rock High School. Tracy has called Glen Rock home for the last 20 years. It's my honor to congratulate Mrs. Tracy Davidoff as the Coleman School Teacher of the Year.
Thank you, everyone. Good evening. Do a little bit different. I'm going to speak exactly about who I knew these teachers and education specialists. We have 4 from the middle school and high school. We have an education specialist from each and a teacher from each. I'm going to begin with a young woman. I don't believe she's here, Ms. Kim Crooks, who is our high school teacher of the year. She's an English language arts teacher. Kim is she's a very quiet person who would seem unimposing when you are walking with her in the hallway or spending time with her. However, in her classroom, she's an absolute rock star. Kim is the type of teacher who students gravitate towards naturally. She inspires them to love literature. She inspires them to love learning. And in her colleagues, the reason why she was nominated and voted by her colleagues is not necessarily because of the things that she does outside the classroom, but who she is among the faculty. Kim is an absolute supporter. She is a true professional. She stands with her teachers, promotes the best ideals that you would want to see in your community and in this school. When Kim was nominated and selected by her peers as the Teacher of the Year for the high school, it was absolutely one of those moments where myself and any administrator who knew her, and even teachers who have met her and interacted with her, automatic high five. She's an absolute gem. Your kids and the kids in the future here at the high school are really lucky that Ms. Crooks will be here with us. She could not tonight, but she is the high school teacher of the year. She is wonderful. You ought to be really proud of her. So I commend Kim. Okay, for the middle school, I'll begin with the education specialist of the year. Now, this is a fresh face. This is her first year here with us in Glen Rock, and she is a middle school counselor. She is currently she's the 8th grade, and she will now be taking the 5th graders who are coming up. She'll be spending a lot of time with them this week. But you would be like, how did a first-year education specialist win this recognition? Well, it's very easy. Casey Higgins. Casey is a wonderful personality who is always around the building, working with students at every instance. She is not the type of person who waits for things to come to her. She's an extremely proactive professional, spends a lot of time with the students. She has a wonderful disposition, so much so that her middle school colleagues in her first year noticed her value and worth to the community and what she gives to the school and to the students. She's beloved. The students, actually, she spent a lot of time with the 5th graders in the last couple weeks. She's been down there seeing the students, welcoming them. The next 4 days, the 5th graders will be coming up here, spending even more time with Ms. Higgins, and our students have a mini orientation, so we'll spend some time with them. But that was spearheaded by Ms. Higgins, working with a group of our 8th grade students who are gifted and talented, who put together this wonderful program. But that's who she is. Nonstop go-getter, gets things done. She is a wonderful asset. Our kids are blessed and lucky to have her. She is also a Gettysburg graduate, and I'm fascinated with that school. And she's a wonderful former athlete. She's going to be a true memorable name to you in the future, Miss Casey Higgins. Our next award is going to our high school education specialist of the year, Ms. Diane Carpenter. I'm sorry. Diane, let me speak a little bit about my personal interactions with her in my time here. So 3 years ago when I arrived, right down the hall from me, when I moved my office up to the middle school, when I moved up there, right down the hall is a child study team. It's right on the corner. And I would go in there a lot, and we always had things that we were dealing with high school students, and we would spend a lot of time together. But I can quickly tell you that Ms. Carpenter and I have had more than our fair share of private office time about the students she serves. I can tell you without a doubt, probably the most important team that a principal or even, quite frankly, teachers in special ed have to rely on is the value, the expertise, the professionalism, and the knowledge and the ability of the child study team who support the programs that are going on in the school. And I can tell you, in that office, Ms. Carpenter is definitely a standing star. I spent a lot of time with her, working with students who were troubled, students who were needing of greater assistance and value. She's actually gone to students' homes to try and help and trying to get them to school to do things. Ms. Carpenter is someone who, whenever I would walk down the hall and I had a question about something or I would need to discuss with her about a student, I'd walk in, the door, the little jingles rattle in the door, we go in, and I'm talking with Diane. Always time for a private conversation, wonderful disposition with parents, patient, caring, even in the face of some tumultuous yelling and screaming by other people on the other side of the screen on the TV. But she is a wonderful, wonderful child study team member. She is someone who I believe really is going to be able to help the new child study team person acclimate very quickly into that office. She's a true leader among this. It's been a long time coming. Diane Carpenter. And finally, it's my honor to introduce to you the middle school Teacher of the Year, Miss Amanda Carullo. Speaking about Amanda, I think when I first got here, somehow we had a clicking connection about our sense of humor together, and we spent a lot of time in the cafeteria with lunch with the middle school students when it was really crazy, but she is a very calming presence. Amanda, I'm going to speak about who she is as a teacher first. So Amanda is a special education teacher, which in and of itself takes a special type of grace upon them to be able to do what they do day in and day out, and for so many years that she's done it. Last year, well, coming into this school year, we were in need of moving Amanda to becoming an LDTC, or I'm sorry, LLD teacher, which means that she had the students who were probably most deserving of need and services. Without question, even though she was nervous, Amanda decided to do it. And every day I would check in with her, and I would say, "Are you okay? You okay?" And she just became this beaming glow of light, as if the energized, she was re-energized by these students. And I know, being up in the classrooms and walking around, spending time, that how much she has given the students inspiration and care and guidance. She's an absolute gem. She is also one of our middle school team leaders, so she's already got that little crown, tiara, and she's on her way to being an excellent teacher leader. She is someone who gives all of her time to the students. She organizes the wonderful middle school fall and spring socials without any problem, without any she just gets it done. Amanda is someone that I truly am going to miss, and I hope someday in the future to have special education teachers just like her, because they and people like her provide the very best for the students who deserve the very best. Thank you, Amanda.
So Ms. LaCroix couldn't be here, but nor could the Central School Teacher of the Year, Diane Conklin, but I did want to read what Ms. LaCroix had shared with me. Diane has been a teacher at Central School for 22 years, teaching second grade and basic skills reading for the majority of her years at Central. She is an asset to Central School. She's involved in many school-wide and district committees. Ms. Conklin works with students in kindergarten through 5th grade in the area of reading and builds lasting relationships with them. Diane offers her expertise and advice to families and colleagues alike. Diane is professional and extremely dedicated, and I am very proud to have her be the Central School Teacher of the Year. Congratulations, Diane. Okay, so it's my pleasure to recognize the Hamilton School Teacher of the Year, Ms. Horton. Ms. Paredes could not be here tonight, but she gave me something to read, but I did want to share some of my own stuff, which could be problematic, I know. But, you know, I go around and visit the elementary schools as often as I can, and for me, and it's in every classroom, but especially when I visit Ms. Horton, is that she's always so welcoming and invites me in and, you know, introduces me to the students and tells me what's going on, and I just feel like the love in her classroom. So I wanted to share that. I also wanted to share that the other day I came in to visit Miss Horton, and I scared the bejesus out of her, and she jumped up out of her chair. And I didn't mean to do that. And so there might be a hostile work environment complaint coming up, but because of that, and I do apologize, and I did apologize at the time, and her colleague across the hall came running over to make sure she was okay. Security and police were called, but everything's okay. But I did get you some eggs from my chickens, so congratulations. Yeah. It was the least I can do. I felt really bad, a little bit. Okay. So this is from Miss Paredes. Lynn Horan attended St. Bonaventure University and received a BS in elementary education. During her time as a teacher in New York City, she completed a Master's of Reading at Fordham University. Her diverse educational experiences as a teacher in the New York City public school system and in private sector has given her the opportunity to improve her knowledge of best practices to use in the classroom. After taking some time off to raise her children, she decided that her passion for teaching was still there and pursued a job in the Glen Rock School District as a second-grade teacher at Alexander Hamilton School. One of her most favorite parts of teaching is having her second-grade students excited to learn. She also enjoys watching their expressions during a read-aloud and, most importantly, seeing them smile because they are having fun. One perk of her job is seeing her students outside of the classroom. As a Glen Rock resident, she often hears her name yelled out of an open car window as she walks through town with her husband and dog. Ms. Horton's most meaningful interaction with her students occurs at the end of every year when she bursts into tears while reading Last Day Blues by Julie Danberg. It's always a testament as to how hard her class worked all year and, most importantly, the lasting relationships that were made. As all the teachers are here, Ms. Horton is certainly one of the good ones, and congratulations, Teacher of the Year. Okay, we have one more student recognition, and sometimes as a superintendent, like as a principal and as athletic director or teacher, it's always much easier. But as a superintendent, it's harder, shouldn't say hard, but harder to like build those relationships that keep you going as an administrator and why we got into education. But this year, I've had the pleasure, in particular, of working with a group of students on what I think is the best TV show in the world, Charleston in Charge. I don't get, yeah, it's Miss Carosello is the only fan right now. But I think it's been picked up for season 2, I'm not sure. And it's up for a daytime Emmy. But I did want to recognize Dean. And Dean, I'm going to say a little bit about you, but Dean is one of the leaders on that show and putting it together, helping with the scripts and the filming and everything. And to me, that's, and being very serious, that's what we want, right? That's a student-led initiative that he created with some of his classmates. In addition to that, Dean's here at every board meeting, and you could see that he has his trainees with him tonight as he's keeping them, I guess, getting ready to pass the torch as he graduates this year. And I look forward to seeing him at graduation. But tonight, Dean, we have a certificate and we have a Glen Rock, because you do a lot of walking here, a steps challenge shirt, okay? So this is like, people like almost died for this, all right? So really enjoy it and wear it with pride, okay? And Dean, come on up.
All right. Let's go into, brings Sarah Personnel. So I need a motion to discuss P1 through P5. Dr. Robinson, seconded by Mr. Hayward. Does anybody have anything that they'd like to discuss on the P items? Dr. Robinson?
I would specifically like to discuss P3. I just have a statement that I've prepared because I think it's really an important position, and I just wanted to make sure that the community understood the gravity of the level of support that I have for this resolution. And so it's rare to have the opportunity to perform like a multi-year job interview, but that's what I think that we have with Ms. Giorlando. The thing that I hear the most from the community is that there's been a constant need to improve communication, to highlight the wellness needs of our staff and our students, and to bridge the gap between academic excellence and emotional intelligence. And while Ms. Giorlando will be new in this role, she's not new to being able to accomplish those tasks. We've spent time building up the administration and supervisors to help her to run this middle school, high school effectively, and I've been assured that she will have the proper support. I don't think of it as taking a chance on someone that's untested, as we have watched her in action. What we are testing is the administrative support system that we have built in place. And in my professional experience, the most effective and dedicated leaders have been grown within the organization, and this sentiment can be applied to our district in this case. She has absolutely earned this opportunity, and I very much am in favor and support this decision. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Robinson. Anyone else? No one else? Well, oh, sorry. Ms. Scarpelli.
Sorry. I did not prepare a statement, but I will speak to P3 and this appointment. I am in support of Ms. Giorlando taking over the helm at the middle school, high school, especially after our closed session little meet and greet that she came and she really explained to us, and hopefully she'll come up and maybe address the community afterwards. So they will hear what she had shared with us. I am confident that she is the right person for this position. She has proven herself in this district over the last 3 years. She clearly knows where the issues are and what we need to do for our students and staff to move forward and succeed. So I just wanted to share with the community my feelings on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Scarpelli. Does anyone else? Go ahead. You want to go?
Sure.
Oh,
I'm also in support. Agree with everything that's been said, and we'll just add that, she has been here a short time, but has accomplished so much. And we did get to learn more from her earlier, which was great. But the work she's done with the guidance department, implementing ruler in the elementary school, and just so much more has been really impressive. And I think Dr. Parent has done a lot of great for the district, a lot of changes that he put in place. And I think having someone internally take over and will just be easier for the transition and continuity of what we've already established. I'm so excited about her. Enjoy every time she comes up here and speaks about what's going on and all the great work that they're doing. And getting to know her a little bit better tonight was excellent. So excited.
Thank you. Ms. Stevenson?
Hi, I was not here for closed, just for the public. I was at the athletic award, so I was not a part of the meet and greet, and I wasn't a part of the discussion prior to it, so I think it would be prudent if I just abstained from it, because I didn't have that opportunity. It's not that I don't support the person at all, I just want everyone to know it's because I wasn't here in closed.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? Ms. Carr?
So, gotta turn that down. I take my responsibility as a trustee very seriously, and I thought nothing else, a lot about this very important decision over the weekend. I said what I needed to say in closed. I'm not going to rehash it. My head was all over the place, and but a firm decision was made in speaking and in hearing what Ms. Girolando said tonight. I wish her the best. I hope that the issues and concerns that I've been hearing are slowly resolved over the course of time. I do support the person, and I look forward to the community supporting it as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? If not, I will just say I also enthusiastically support Ms. Girolando as our middle school principal, from her work and guidance to her ability to build relationships, just to the idea of educating the whole student. I just can't wait for what might come down the next couple of years. So I'm just so excited that she wants to take the job. So thank you very much, Ms. Girolando. And with that, I guess, James.
Ms. Carosella?
Yes.
Ms. Carr?
Yes.
Mr. Corey?
Yes.
Mr. Hayward?
Yes.
Ms. McNabola?
Yes.
Dr. Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Scarpelli?
Yes.
Ms. Stevenson?
Yes, except for P3, I abstain.
Ms. Rundell?
Yes. That moves us on to our general item.
Congratulations. Congratulations to Ms. Girolando. Please, I know we had spoken, maybe you want to come up and just say a couple of words. As she's coming up, I'll share a little bit about Ms. Girolando. She brings nearly 30 years of experience in public education, including serving as an English teacher, school counselor, and for the last 6 years as a director of student personnel services, with the last 3 years here in Glen Rock. In her role as Director of Student Personnel Services, Ms. Girolando implemented several positive changes, including increasing college and career programming and services across grades 9 through 12, providing parent and student workshops regarding Naviance, standardized testing, and social media use, and she has successfully planned and implemented Ruler, a social and emotional learning curricula for the Yale Center for Emotional Intelligence with the elementary and middle school staff. Ms. Girolando works closely with the elementary principals on ensuring that students transition smoothly to the middle school, both academically and socially. She works closely with the K-12 supervisors to ensure that course placements are based on clear prerequisites and aligned to academic standards. And she works closely with the Special Services Department to make certain that all students' academic needs are met. Ms. Girolando consistently collaborates with all stakeholders to establish strong programming, both educationally and social, emotional for students. Couldn't be happier to have you as the middle school, high school principal. Look forward to working with you in this new capacity, and the floor is yours.
Thank you. It's an honor and a privilege to have this opportunity to serve the district as the middle school, high school principal. I thank the board. I'm excited to continue the initiatives that have been introduced in recent years and to enhance our services and programs as we provide an outstanding educational experience for our students. I look forward to collaborating with all of the GR stakeholders as we partner in developing the next generation of global citizens. As Ms. Rundell said, my vision is that we work in educating the whole child, that we look at the instructional piece and we look at the social emotional piece, and we find the ways that we marry those two ideas together so that we are helping kids not only learn the content knowledge, but develop the content of their character. So I'm really excited to be here tonight, really excited for the year ahead, and again, I thank all of you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Orlando. Congratulations. All right, General.
So we did not get any policy updates, so we have nothing under policy or governance, but we do have a couple of things under instruction and program. Greg, do you want to go first?
Sure. I mean, I guess Keith didn't want me to speak tonight. I get my own microphone. But, okay, fine. So real quick, instruction and program for the board. For the summer curriculum work, we are putting together kind of the same list that we have done in the past that will have all the details of the curriculum work that the supervisors and I are refining right now, supervisors and instructional coaches. So it's not a heavy lift when it comes to curriculum like it has been the last few years. We don't have a whole lot of new standards like we did the last year, but it's a lot of kind of more surface level revisions for that. So expect that list, and it's broken down by subject matter and all that. Not nearly as many pieces, but we will have some of the continuing things, ruler training, some book groups for that. We will have some of the middle school. We're continuing to tweak some of the social studies things. Civics is being revisioned a little bit. We're continuing to look at the new curriculum for social studies in elementary, and the science in elementary, those continued revisions. We are going to continue with that co-teaching professional development we've been doing this year with we've been bringing in a consultant. She was just here this week actually working in the high school. She's going to continue working with some of the elementary co-teaching pairs so they can continue working and co-planning together when they have some time this summer to really kind of unpack some of those things. Those partnerships have been really, really good, and we're going to keep supporting that throughout the summer. So on the 26th, I'll have that. I'll have it hopefully for you before that in a draft form, but by the 26th, you'll have that whole appendix that you've seen before that lists the hours and the dates and all that. So expect that on the 26th. Also on the 26th, you're going to have for approval new social studies texts for AP European History and AP Economics. These are, if you know how AP text choices are done, the College Board gives you a very short list of things to choose from. It's not like go anywhere you want, here's what's approved. And so Mr. Morelli worked with his teachers to go over that list, and they previewed them and made a choice together. So it's a collaborative effort with his teachers. They've had an opportunity to look at that and settled on the ones that they felt best fit their courses, what they've been doing in the past. So that's AP Euro and AP Economics. And then last year they started, it's an online textbook for AP World History, and we're going to be extending that license. It's just the same one. So expect to see those on the 26th for approval. And then the last one is for you, Dr. Charleston, the classes of.
So as required, I did put in backup the class sizes that are 15 and under. And as you can see, several of them would be running concurrently. Some are still running small. We have some class sizes of 12 and 10. Some are, if you combine them, for example, like AP Computer Science Principles, which is a great thing. We have 29 requests, so that was too large for one section. So basically, it'll be a 14 and a 15 section. Without having to go through all of these, I could answer questions if you have any on these. These are all classes that are running. And kudos to Mr. Orlando and the staff for putting, making sure that we give our students as many opportunities as possible to take various classes, while also not putting, an unreasonable burden on staff. As you can imagine, it's hard to teach two classes, right, in the same period. So I think she did a really nice job of balancing that.
And then let me just add one more thing for the summer curriculum work. We are still spending down the ARP ESSER grant money, which is through September of '24. So for the Learning Acceleration Grant money, we're still using some of that when it's applicable. And then also some of that will be coming out of the curriculum summer money that I budgeted anyway. So that spreadsheet will have that delineated as far as where the money is coming from. And then just one other thing that you can expect to see at some point is that we are going to, James and I have been talking about this, we will have to amend that grant in a couple areas because we're going to have to move money from one line to another just because there's the grants are, as you know, very specific about where it needs to be spent. So I had, for example, divided the money even between salaries and workshops, and it turns out I need to move some from one area to another because it's over 3 years we're spending this money and we need it here, not there. So we're waiting until we have kind of all of those ideas, so I just have to send in the amendment one time, hopefully, instead of amended multiple times and have it go through the state that way. So I don't know if do those need to be board approved? Okay, so they might not come across your desk, but I just want to let you know where we are with that. And we still have quite a bit of money in there. In my part of the grant, it was about $200,000, and we have a little less than half of that probably at this point. So we're working on still spending that down. So a lot of this summer money is going to come from that.
Thank you.
That's it.
Right, so, Ms. McNamara.
I just had a question on scheduling. These are the classes that are 15 or under. Do we have any classes that are very small that will just not exist and the students have gotten other choices?
Mr. Orlando, how are you?
Just a question.
You could have a seat if you want up here. Yeah, that's fine.
Uh-oh.
Might as well.
No, you can sit there. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. I won't make you stand.
I agree.
So what we do is when we take all the requests, we already determine which classes are too small to run. And then I make a spreadsheet for the counselors. They call those students in. They have the opportunity to choose again for the courses that won't be running. And then we redesign our sections based on that follow-up.
Okay. So they'll get a second choice.
So they already have had that. So prior to the master schedule running, prior to all the sections being determined, we give the kids that chance to know, they know that their first choices in those cases won't run. So we give them the opportunity to choose again.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else? All right.
You're welcome to stay there if you want, or you can go.
I think I'm okay.
Okay, all right.
Thank you, Ms. Orlando. All right, so is there anything under liaisons for anyone? Mr. Corey?
It's that time of year, and I have one job of being the 4th of July parade liaison. 2 convertible options, just amongst us. But really, it's the end of the school year, summer is going to be beginning, and look forward to everybody extending their support. The Corys will be in town, so.
Should we email you, Dan, if we would
Yes,
like to?
so we can confirm who's going to be attending on behalf of the board.
Thank you very much.
Going in your van.
Anyone else?
Full option of vehicles.
All right, well, I think now is the time to open up public comment. Please come to the mic, make sure it's on, state your name, your address. You will have 3 minutes, and I will open up public comment at 7:47.
My name is Jim Garafola, 140 Midwood Road in beautiful downtown Glen Rock. I'd like to thank the music department for their contributing to the parade that the town had with regard to Memorial Day. We had 2 trumpeters and we had a singer well received, and they did an outstanding job. So I'd like to thank the people who were in charge of them and the Board of Education for allowing those people to come and make a presentation. Again, thank you very much. Appreciate it. And so does the VFW and the town, I'm pretty sure.
Thank you very much. Anyone else?
Colleen Manley, 70 Ridge Road. I just wanted to congratulate Ms. Girlando, and I wanted to thank all of you for speaking up about it. It's a really big decision, and it's really nice to see that level of support, because of course she has done incredible work over the last 3 years, and so congratulations to her. And thanks to you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good evening. My name is Allison Papalardo, and I live at 165 Berkeley Place in Glen Rock. I also want to congratulate Mrs. Girlando. We've had the pleasure to work with her, and I think she's just so thoughtful and well-spoken and has done so many great things in the high school, so really excited to see what's coming next. And I also wanted to take this time tonight to thank the Board of Ed sincerely for all their work this year to make our school a safe and welcoming place for all students. Given the rise in anti-LGBTQ legislation across the country, Glen Rock offers a beacon of hope to those that believe in equal rights for all of our children. So I really thank you for that. I wanted to share an excerpt from the Borough of Glen Rock's proclamation for Pride Month. They said, whereas we will continue our work to build a society where every child grows up knowing that their community supports them, is proud of them, and has a place for them exactly as they are. I want to recognize and express my sincere appreciation and gratitude for our school system and our town working together to support our children exactly as they are. The gravitas of this statement is not lost on me, especially during this time in history. So thank you for seeing our children, thank you for accepting our children, and thank you for supporting our children, all of our children, exactly as they are. As we look back on history years from now, I truly believe Glen Rock will be seen as a leader in promoting equality, liberty, and justice for all. And I'd just like to close with this. In addition to Glen Rock, important organizations in our society endorse inclusive education, including the National Education Association, the American Psychological Association, the Human Rights Campaign, and the American Bar Association. Inclusive education is important because it combats hate and stigma. According to the American Bar Association, a growing body of scientific evidence shows that an LGBTQ inclusive education benefits the health and well-being of all students. Inclusive education promotes greater safety at school. According to a California Safe Schools Coalition study, the inclusion of LGBTQ people in instructional materials is linked to greater student safety at school for both LGBTQ and non-LGBTQ students. Simply put, an inclusive curriculum is better for all students and helps to decrease bullying, and that's what your work is doing. So let's continue this work to support and welcome all students in our school system so they know that they are seen, supported, and accepted by their community exactly as they are. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? All right, I will close public comment at 7:51. That's it. So I need so I need a motion to recess back into closed. Ms. Carr, seconded by Ms. Scarpelli. No action will be taken, so I will not come back into public. All right. Thank you, everybody. I guess public is adjourned.